I was 18 years old, legally an adult, but still a child at heart. I was afraid of silence, afraid of darkness, afraid of being alone. And that was the year I became someone's wife, not because I wanted to, but because I was told to. After my mother passed away, my stepmother married my father. When he died 2 years later, my life quietly ended, with him. From then on, I wasn't family anymore. I was responsibility, work, a problem that needed to be removed. I did everything. I cleaned her house, cooked her meals, washed her clothes, stayed quiet. I learned early that silence keeps you safe. On my 18th birthday, she didn't give me a gift. She gave me news. "You're getting married," she said. "You should be thankful. The man is wealthy. You'll have a roof over your head." I didn't even know who he was. I learned his name days before the wedding. I saw his face only once, briefly, before. Everything became official. That night, after the guests left and the music faded, he walked into the room. He locked the door. His eyes were calm, distant. "Change," he said. That was it. No anger, no warmth, just expectation. My body wouldn't move. I sat frozen, my heart racing, my hands gripping the fabric of my dress. I wanted to disappear. After a moment, he exhaled slowly. "I'll sleep in the living room," he said. "But this can't stay like this forever." The lights went out. I stayed awake until morning, staring into nothing, feeling like parts of me had been taken without permission, my safety, my choices, my voice. His name was Zan. He was almost 30, well known in business. I later learned he had asked for someone quiet, someone who wouldn't argue, someone easy to control. That someone was me. Days passed. He never touched me, not once, but he barely spoke either. He came home late, ate in silence, slept on the couch. I existed in the same space, but I felt unseen. Still, I did what was expected. Cooking, cleaning, serving. I wasn't a wife. I was surviving. One evening, while washing dishes, my hand slipped. A glass shattered. Pain shot through my finger. Blood followed. I quickly tried to hide it. Pain was something I learned to deal with alone, but he saw. He stopped, looked at my hand, then at my face. "You're bleeding," he said. "I'm fine," I whispered. He gently took my hand. Anyway, wrapped it carefully. "Sit down," he said. "I'll handle the rest." That simple moment shook me more than cruelty ever had, because kindness, after years of neglect, feels overwhelming. The next morning, there was a medical kit on the table. Beside it, chocolate and a note. For someone who never asks for help. That was when something inside me softened. Slowly, things changed. He began eating meals with me, asking questions, listening. When I mentioned I loved books, he started bringing them home. He respected my space, asked permission, never crossed a line. One night, during a power outage, we talked. He told me about his childhood, about fear, about violence, about losing his mother too. Young and being taught that emotions were weakness. "I don't know how to be gentle," he admitted. "You're learning," I said. For the first time, he smiled. Months passed. I finally told him everything. About being forced. About crying through the wedding. About feeling invisible for most of my life. He listened quietly. When I finished, he said, You weren't broken. You were silenced. And you deserve to speak. One winter night, I got sick. Fever dreams, tears, without reason. He stayed beside me until morning. When I cried, he didn't ask questions. He just held me. That was the first time anyone had ever held me, without expecting something in return. 3 months into our marriage, he came into the room and sat beside me. "I love you," he said carefully, "but I will never take anything from you that you don't give willingly." I looked at him, not with fear this time, but clarity. I reached for his hand. "I choose this," I said. That night wasn't about obligation. It was about trust. Now I'm 21. We live quietly. There's a small garden, warm, evenings. I write now stories about girls who were never given choices, but found their voices anyway. He still makes tea for me every night, and sometimes I cry, not because I'm afraid, but because I'm free.